the glamp life, y'all. The Camp QYB podcast. Take it away, Roberta.
Hello, everyone. We're here with Zac Webb. He is our amazing comedian for tonight and up and coming in DFW and also expanding his horizons across the U.S. We're very, very excited to get to know Zac and how he started and, you know, this where did he come up with all of this funny side of himself? Let's find out. Hi, Zac.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. Are you excited for tonight?
Yeah, I'm really excited for tonight. It was cool getting the tour, you know, seeing everything. And yeah, hopefully I can make some people laugh or not. Yeah.
Well, let's see what this sense of humor looks like, right?
Yeah, right, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my jokes are very, like, absurd and out there. So, you know, it's either you're on board or you're not on board.
That's very true. I know Gretchen Young for a long time, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she also said, you know, it's well, what is the age, you know, requirements on this? I'm like, well, just quit your bitching, just come and have fun.
Yeah, in my head, I was walking around and I was just seeing some families and stuff, and I was like, oh, like, do I need to cater my jokes, you know, to like a very clean audience? And I was like, oh yeah, it's called Camp Quit Your Bitchin'. So yeah, I imagine that's pretty great for you guys to not have any like complaints, you know?
Oh, we get 'em.
Yeah, but I mean, but do you just point to the sign? It just says "Quit Your Bitchin'," like.
Well, just to give you an idea, okay?
Sure.
So last night, I even had my face painter write bitchin' on my forehead with a red circle and crossed out.
Mm-hmm.
So no bitchin'.
Right.
So quit your bitchin'.
Right.
It works.
Hell yeah.
You know?
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, we're all about humor. We're all about fun, and quit your bitching means, you know, leave your worries behind and have fun and just relax. And life is just short,
Sure. True.
you know. So yeah, we want you to bring it.
All right. Yeah, I definitely will.
Yeah, don't worry about because everybody else is already pre-warned. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we've been warning them for a while, so.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sometimes it's not even for me, my humor, like sometimes it's not even like oh, like you went there, you know, like sometimes it's just like very absurdist and very what the hell does he mean by that, you know? Less offensive, more just like what does that mean, I guess.
What is this guy on?
Yeah. I get that question a lot, and most of the time it's just herbal tea. You know, a lot of people sleep on that. I can get you to some weird places. So
Awesome.
yeah,
I love it. I can't wait. I'm gonna sleep great tonight then.
sure. Yeah. I've been told I have a chamomile tone to my jokes. So yeah, you'll get your 8 hours. That's for sure.
I love it. Well, let's get a little bit of history on you. How did you start with comedy, and what made you get into this profession?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really started, I want to say like 7 years ago or so. I just got to the point, I've always loved comedy and I've always loved making people laugh. And I'd been doing other things like sketches and writing. But I really just wanted to, like, I don't know, get to the most direct way of being financially compensated for being funny. And stand-up is that pretty much. You know, it's like I don't have to, you know, shoot anything. I don't need to, you know, rely on actors or anything like that. It's just all me. Kind of a solo sport, which I enjoy. But yeah, no, and ever since then, you know, it's definitely been a journey. I love stand-up mostly because whether it's good or bad, it's always interesting. There's always something happening. So it's just, you know, and usually, especially in DFW, we have like a really good community and a lot of stage time that you can get and sort of develop. So it's been a great journey so far.
Yeah, what I've learned from, you know, getting to know Gretchen for so long is it's about the community, right? It's really one act supporting the other and really helping each other out and flourishing.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I mean, you know, it's always great just to, I I don't know, like at a certain point, you really just enjoy the company of other comedians, especially when you're in situations where, you're looking for someone to tell a joke to, or for someone to tell a joke to you, like. Depending on the situation, like I've done a lot of like road gigs with several comedians that I love and adore, and it's sometimes the road gigs are not great. Sometimes we go to some weird places and with some bad crowds, and but the entire journey of doing it is fun. It's like the only time I'm not having fun is when I'm on stage in those, particular instances, because the rest of it is just, me doing goofs with the other comedians that I'm with. So, you definitely form some bonds, and it ends up being like just a really great experience. Yeah.
So to those folks that didn't, really acclimate to your jokes very much, are you going to start telling them to quit their bitching?
Maybe. I don't know. Part of me is like, the world's so big, and, everybody has their own tastes and experiences. So I never really get offended if somebody doesn't find my jokes funny. I'm just like, all right, that's it's at the point where someone has to perceive you to be funny. Like, there's that like, oh, I found that funny. It's like you saw the perception of like what makes it funny, right? And so plenty of people look at me and they're just like, I don't get it. I'm like, hey man, this is a free country. That's fair. But
yeah, you're like, I went to this interesting place. You
right,
know,
right, yeah. No, for me, it's the people who bomb and then like blame the audience. For me, I'm like, oh no, quit your bitching. Like it's like everybody. You can't. No one bats 1,000. Everybody strikes out eventually. It's it's just part of the game.
Yeah, but I don't see you striking out very often. That's for sure. That's for sure.
A lot.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens tonight.
No, for sure. For
so
sure.
excited.
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Joe Mama's Pizza, where gourmet meets comfort, one slice at a time.
You hungry, Joe?
Joe Mama.
You want a knuckle sandwich instead?
No, man. Joe Mama's Pizza from Camp Quit Your Bitchin'.
Oh, yeah.
Wood-fired flavor with a sweet twist. Joe Mama serves up artisan pizzas that blend classic Italian comfort with playful, modern flair. From the smoky indulgence of our smokehouse pizza to the tangy sweetness of our hot honey pie, each signature pie is handcrafted on a golden crust and loaded with flavor. Whether you're going bold with BBQ chicken and bacon or keeping it simple with a classic margarita, Joe Mama's is where comfort food gets a gourmet upgrade. You can get creative and make your own pie with our wide selection of premium toppings.
Yeah, almost as good your mama's toppings last night. Dude.
Oh, and don't skip the pizza logs. Trust us. Joe Mama's Pizza, located in the heart of Camp Quit Your Bitchin' in Runaway Bay, Texas.
Well, tell me a little bit about your expansion. What is your goals coming from here on out?
Really for me, I just love the process a lot, because goals always change, right? Goals, you always sort of like you set them and then they're constantly moving away. Maybe you accomplish some and then it's just, you still have that feeling of like, all right, well, I got more to do and other stuff like that. So I don't really focus too much on like the things to check off. I mostly just love the work. Like I really love writing jokes. I love performing in front of people. Like I'm always focused on like the next show, but not necessarily of like, what is it going to get me or anything like that. For me, I feel like life is at its best when you just find the peace and the presence in every moment.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where my head's at with like comedy and kind of like where my trajectory and other stuff is going. It's just like, how do I make this show, this experience, this joke the best I can? Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and it's great because you're not bound by something.
Right.
You're not putting yourself into that bubble.
Right. And I feel like sometimes when you focus your energy on like obtaining a certain thing, sometimes you can also get caught up in the fear of not having that thing. And that kind of generates the opposite energy you want in your life. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Because that way you're not setting yourself up for failure.
Right. Yeah. You're just kind of like going with the flow of life. And I think that's when, things work out the best.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation about, comics. This is where they hide from their own PTSDs or from their own sadness and things like that. And it's true.
Sure.
You hear a lot about different comics that have struggled and things like that, and they found their happy places on this stage. Do you see that being a commonality?
Yeah, for sure. For me, I always feel like stand-up, like the people who want to do stand-up a lot of times want to be understood. In one aspect or another, I feel like they don't feel like they have the space to say what they want to say. And sometimes we often are perceived in ways that we don't like being perceived. Sometimes, so whenever you kind of do stand-up, you're kind of controlling that level of perception in a way. Starting out simply with like, I am funny, but then moving on to other complicated things of like being vulnerable with an audience and kind of like having the time and space to really tell somebody how something is, affecting you or how you perceive other people, other things. And a lot of times, I've heard a quote of like, the most vulnerable is always the most interesting and the most creative,
Right.
and I think that's very true. And sometimes, a lot of people, when they start doing comedy, they kind of just start out with like the fundamental things, talking about the stuff in their life, family or dating or other things like that. But the more you get into it, the more you kind of expose how you feel about, big topics and, maybe aspects that scare you or other things like that. But then finding the humor in that, transmuting that negative experience or that fear into something positive that can connect you with like other people.
I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's about self-healing too.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It makes the struggles and trials, tribulations kind of tolerable.
For sure. Yeah. For me, it's, sometimes I found myself like shutting down or not being able to communicate in certain ways. But in stand-up, that's when I'm like, oh, yeah, that's when I can communicate clearly, I know the words, and even sometimes if I'm dealing with a heckler or something, it's like I find the strength in that moment to speak up for myself and like set boundaries with people and stuff like that. So,
How does that work in relationships?
it oddly enough, it takes more work in the relationships than it does on comedy, but that's just that's just me, But I like doing the work, like I said. So, a lot of times it's just learning about both sides of things,
Yeah, because they probably won't find that funny.
Right. No, yeah. No, that's the worst. Is the worst is being in an argument with somebody and then in the back of your head going like, "Oh, this is actually really funny." Because you can't tell people right then and there that how funny this is.
Yeah.
Like, you have to give it like a week or so and be like, "Hey, can I like talk about
Too
this
soon?
on stage?" Yeah. So, no, you definitely find the sort of the funny parts of tragedy in a way.
Okay, now I know there's a story behind there. Did you run into that before?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't really know any particular one, but a lot of times, like, I've had jokes or, like, even, like, I have a joke about, like, a unhoused person yelling at me just randomly. And, like, in the moment, it was both scary, like, as, like, oh, holy crap, this person's just screaming at me. I don't know what they want. I don't, know what's happening. But in the back of my mind, what they were saying at me, I was like, oh, I'm going to say this on stage. Like, so it was a
Good
part
material.
Right. It was a part of like, oh my God, like, am I safe right now? Am I good? And also, oh my God, I have to remember exactly every detail about this situation because I'm going to be telling it for the next like 5 years. So
It was that good.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, can you just yell at me again? Let me record this.
Right. Yeah. Hold on, man. Let me grab a pen. Like, yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Well, have you, where do you usually have your stand-ups? At Addison Improv? And
Yeah, I mean, mostly I work a lot at Dallas Comedy Club in Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
They're a really great club. Yeah, I do Addison, a little bit of mic drop comedy in Plano, Comedy Arena, and McKinney. I just try and do like as many spots as I can. Other than that, I do like, occasionally like bar shows or just,
Very
out
cool.
of town work, stuff like that. Wherever they'll have me, that's where I'll go.
that's fantastic because I'm actually considering doing once a month.
Oh, nice.
Stand-up comedy over here.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah, because that's going to be amazing, especially with the turnout. We didn't even think that 100 tickets were going to be possible.
Oh, nice.
And because we have so much going on, and they just went crazy with you guys.
Oh,
We
nice.
had your
Yeah.
little skits and promoted you guys there, and we keep getting tons of tickets. I think we sold about 50 of the tickets in the last couple of days.
Hell yeah. Nice.
So, yeah.
Well,
It's
hopefully
gonna
that'll be a great show. Yeah.
It's going to be an amazing show. I know, especially with you guys. So I can't wait to see you tonight. And I know that you need to go over there and get prepped.
Oh, yeah.
And I think somebody else just got here, too. So I'm going to go in there and pick them up. And let's go have fun.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.